Every collapse needs a tool. Not a weapon, not an army. A distraction. In the past, collapse came through hunger, through invasion, through visible pressure. Today, it comes through attention, or more precisely, through the loss of it. People are not forced into distraction. They choose it. They carry it in their pockets. They check it before they think. They return to it when silence appears. Not because it brings joy, but because it removes discomfort. Distraction is not entertainment anymore. It is regulation. It regulates emotion. It regulates boredom. It regulates anxiety. Every uncomfortable thought is immediately replaced with noise. This is how direction disappears. Not suddenly, but gradually. One interruption at a time. Ancient civilizations collapsed when citizens stopped participating. Not when they rebelled, when they disengaged, when attention shifted from responsibility to comfort. A distracted population is easy to manage, not because it is weak, but because it is fragmented. No shared focus, no shared direction, no long-term memory, only reaction. Distraction trains the mind to live in fragments, short thoughts, short emotions, short attention. A mind that cannot focus cannot plan. A society that cannot plan cannot survive. This is why distraction is more dangerous than oppression. Oppression creates resistance. Distraction creates compliance. People confuse being busy with being productive. They consume endless information, but produce no direction. They know everything and understand nothing. Information without focus becomes noise. Noise without meaning becomes confusion. Confusion without clarity becomes dependence. This is how collapse modernize. No ruins, no smoke, just millions of people too distracted to notice what is being taken from them. The cost of distraction is not time, it is identity. People forget what they value. They forget what they stand for. They forget what they are becoming. A distracted mind is always reacting, never choosing, never leading, never building. History does not punish ignorance. It punishes distraction. Civilizations fall when attention collapses, when comfort replaces discipline, when noise replaces silence, when reaction replaces intention. Distraction is not harmless. It is the soft beginning of the end. In the next chapter, we look at what happens when distraction becomes permanent and the world begins to shift.
Most people believe collapse is loud. They imagine chaos, sirens, panic. But history tells a different story. The real danger never arrives screaming. It arrives quietly. Before the world changes, nothing looks broken. Jobs still exist. Money still moves. Systems still function. Yet something fundamental has already shifted. Not outside, inside. This is where the digital tsunami begins. Not as an event, not as a date, but as a process. A collision between technology, automation, artificial intelligence, and a society no longer trained to focus, adapt, or resist comfort. The digital tsunami does not destroy cities. It erodes relevance. It replaces skills quietly. It removes purpose gradually. It rewards speed over depth. And it does not wait for understanding. Work changes without asking permission. Jobs disappear without announcements. People are told to reskill without being shown how. And most don't realize what's happening because everything still looks familiar. History shows this moment clearly. Right before empires fell, power shifted. Not violently, silently. From people to systems, from skill to leverage, from effort to efficiency. The digital tsunami follows the same pattern. Those who move early gain time. Those who wait lose options. Those who deny lose relevance. This is not the future. This is the present that most people are refusing to name. Certain dates appear, not as predictions, but as checkpoints. Moments when systems expect adaptation. When institutions adjust whether people are ready or not. The digital tsunami does not ask who feels prepared. This is where the split begins. Not between rich and poor, but between those who recognize patterns and those who cling to comfort. Between those who adapt and those who hope stability will return. Most people don't resist change. They resist the discomfort of admitting that the old world is gone. Because admitting it means responsibility. The digital tsunami does not arrive suddenly. It rises while people argue about whether it exists. And by the time it is undeniable, escape is no longer an option. You do not get to vote on transformation. You only decide whether you face it prepared or exposed. Every civilization reaches this moment, the point where adaptation becomes mandatory, where waiting feels safer, but guarantees loss. The digital tsunami is not a warning. It is already moving, and the only real question left is this: who will you be when it reaches you? The wave is not coming. It is here. Every transformation begins with a loss. Not the loss of comfort, not the loss of stability. The loss of illusion. At some point, you realize the old world is not returning. Not because it was destroyed, but because it no longer works. The rules changed quietly, permanently. This is the moment most people delay. They wait for confirmation, for clarity, for permission. But permission never comes. The first step out of the old world is not external. It is internal. It is the moment you stop asking if things will go back to normal and start asking who you must become. The old identity resists. It reminds you of safety, of familiarity, of how things used to be. It tells you to wait, to adapt slowly, to stay reasonable. But reason is often just fear wearing polite language. Leaving the old world does not mean panic. It means responsibility. It means accepting that comfort is no longer a reliable guide, that habits built for yesterday cannot protect tomorrow. Every civilization that survived transition did so because a few individuals moved early, not because they were certain, but because they were willing to carry uncertainty. They did not wait for collapse. They prepared during stability. This is where the real pain begins. Not external hardship, internal separation. You must let go of the version of yourself that was rewarded by the old system. The old identity cannot cross into the new era. It is too slow, too dependent, too comfortable. Stepping out of the old world means redefining success. No longer status, no longer approval, no longer stability, but adaptability, focus, self-reliance. This step feels lonely because most people do not leave together. They wait, and waiting feels safer than standing alone. But history never moved forward with those who waited. The first step is not dramatic. It is quiet. A decision made without applause. A direction chosen before results appear. The old world will continue to reward comfort until it collapses. The new world will reward only those who prepare. The first step out of the old world is deciding you will not go back.
Every era rewards a specific set of skills, not talent, not intention, skills. Those who master them advance. Those who ignore them fall behind. The digital tsunami does not remove opportunity. It changes the price of entry. What once required effort now requires understanding. What once rewarded obedience now rewards adaptability. The skills of the new era are not physical. They are cognitive. They determine how fast you learn, how clearly you think, and how well you remain stable under constant change. Hard work alone is no longer enough. Effort without direction creates exhaustion, not progress. The future does not reward those who work harder. It rewards those who work with clarity. The first skill is adaptive thinking, the ability to release outdated beliefs without emotional attachment, to change direction without seeing it as failure, to learn quickly without needing certainty. The second skill is focus, not concentrating for minutes, sustained focus over months. In a distracted world, focus becomes a competitive advantage. Those who can think deeply while others react shallowly will lead. Focus is not intensity. It is exclusion, the deliberate removal of noise. The third skill is emotional stability, the ability to function without panic, to observe without reacting, to make decisions without being hijacked by fear or excitement. Unstable emotions create predictable behavior. Predictable behavior is easy to replace. The fourth skill is learning speed, not intelligence, not memory, speed. How fast you can acquire, test, and apply new knowledge. Those who learn slowly do not lose immediately. They lose relevance quietly. Artificial intelligence will not replace humans. It will replace slow humans, rigid humans, unaware humans. Technology amplifies skill. It does not compensate for its absence. The final skill is discipline, the ability to practice skills before necessity forces you. Discipline removes dependency on motivation. It turns preparation into habit. Discipline is what allows all other skills to exist. Without it, adaptation collapses. The new era does not announce winners. It reveals them quietly, through consistency, through clarity, through preparation. The future does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the most prepared. The skills of the new era are already being rewarded. Whether you notice